Mrs. Wright, the selection for the school musical is downright dumb. Faith shouldn't get the lead because she did nothing special for her audition when I worked my butt off. Somebody who actually attempted should get the part. I learned how to speak in a British accent for my audition and sang in one too. If not me, at least Violet Little, even though her accent was more on the Australian side, but maybe that's because she is Australian? I don't really remember. But that doesn't matter, and frankly, I don't care. What matters is that we can't let Faith make this musical flop like the last one. Let me show you how she should have done her audition. Hello, may I help you on this fantastic night? If I may, I recommend you get the beef Wellington. Brings me back to when I lived in London. I suppose you can relate, can't you, mate? And scene. I hope you realize that Faith brings nothing to the table when it comes to a musical. She takes the act out of actress. Maybe she could possibly be a playwright. I've seen her in English class. That girl can write 2 pages of a 5-page essay in under an hour. But don't let her be an actress in a musical or play, especially the lead. Opening night would be a flop, and we both know that would be embarrassing for you.
Hello, fellow humans and citizens of misery. I come from a town called Humansville, and today I will be giving a presentation on normal human topics like depression. I'm sure you're all familiar with the concept of friends, and I assume you're all familiar with the concept of math. Now, what happens when you have 2 friends and you take one away because you got a big promotion to invasion planner, and the other does to scan humans for information like what a Star Wars is and how it can be used as a defensive measure? Well, guess what, Gartron? I'm gonna scan the whole planet, and when the invasion happens, who's going to have helped more? The stupid invasion planner or the guy who spent months scanning the humans? Anyways, the answer is you have one friend. One friend. Because one friend was removed from the equation after you spent months with him scanning the human eating bread. That concludes the mathematics and friendship segment of the presentation. Just, friends are awful. I don't see any reason why anyone should have any. Our next segment will be about the practical use of TIE fighters against superior alien technology.
I offered you wealth, property, money, all the simple things of a corporate role, and more. I offered you magic, secrets, revenge, a place by the river, the lights on the water at night. I invited you to share the dreams of a child, to sense the skin of another, to hear all with the eyes of a bat, to see with the eyes of a hawk, to smell with the nose of a hound. Could have given you thoughts in an unimaginable, brilliant color, or dabbling in the visions of a heroin addict on the edge of death and seeing what he sees as he passes beyond, a glimpse of something more. We could have put you on the same eye line as God himself. I offered you visions, wonders, comfort, security, whatever you desired. But you refused me. So now I offer you this alternative. Run, hide, magician, because I've seen your face and I can recognize you now. Wherever you go, whatever you do, my men will follow you, track you by the prints of your fingers to the sound of your footsteps, and we will find you. And I will kill you and show your mangled corpse to my clients and say, these are the dead bones you were afraid of, and look how they died. I will do this to your enemies if you name them. I shall have your skull on my desk as a paperweight, and wish you still had eyes to see my victory. This is my new offer. This is my promise to you.
A C. I got a C on my coat hanger sculpture. How could anyone get a C in a coat hanger sculpture? May I ask a question? Was I judged on a piece of sculpture itself? If so, is it true that time alone can judge a work of art? Or was I judged on my talent? If so, is it fair that I be judged on a part of my life over which I have no control? If I was judged on my effort, then I was judged unfairly, for I tried as hard as I could. Was I judged on what I had learned about this project? If so, then were not you, my teacher, also being judged on your ability to transmit your knowledge to me? Are you willing to share my C? Perhaps I was being judged on the quality of the coat hanger out of which my creation was made. Now, is that not also unfair? Am I to be judged by the quality of coat hangers that are used by a dry cleaning establishment that returns our garments? Is this not the responsibility of my parents? Should they not share my C? Thank you, Miss Elfmar. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
You're telling me I have to share my room? This is outrageous. You know we live in a 2-bedroom apartment, yet you still decide to get pregnant. Thanks for being so considerate, Mom. I'm turning 13 next month, and do you know what teenagers need? Oh yeah, right, privacy. This just isn't fair. None of my other friends have to share their rooms, and none of them have a mother like you. You don't care about me, and you're never there for me when I needed you. When were you when I needed help with my math homework? When were you when I wanted dinner and I was too young to use the stove? Oh, I remember now. You were running around with guys that stuck around for one reason and one reason only. Who banged you up this time? Was it Carl, John, someone I haven't even met yet? And is he going to take care of the baby, change their diaper, feed them? No, he isn't, and neither are you. You and I both know I'm going to be responsible for this kid that I didn't even ask for. But you know what? I'm up for the challenge. I will share my room. And most importantly, I'll give this kid a childhood I never got to have. As soon as I can get a job, I'll spend the money from my paychecks to spoil them with all the coolest toys on the market. I'll make time for them, make them feel loved, give them everything you didn't give me.
You know, despite all the bullshit that comes along with it, I remember my childhood as this, this magical time. I do. I remember when my mother first told me about death. My great-grandmother had just died and the whole family had just visited them in Florida. I was about 3.5 years old. Anyway, I was in the backyard playing, and my sister had just taught me how you could take the hose and do it in such a way that you could spray it into the sun and make a rainbow. So I was just doing that, and through the mist I could see my grandmother. She was standing there smiling at me, and so I held it there for a while. And finally I let go of the nozzle and, dropped the hose, and she disappeared. And so I went back inside and I told my parents, and they sit me down and they gave me this big rap about how when people die you never see them again and how I'd imagined it. But I know what I'd seen. And I mean, I was just glad I saw that. I've never seen anything like that since. But I don't know, it kind of just let me know how ambiguous everything was, even death.